What's going on, guys? Jasdeep Singh here, and in today's video I want to talk about what I believe to be one of the most important skills in business, online marketing, any form of business really, and that is the ability to be able to sell. All right, sales. This is arguably the most important thing that you have to know. All right, if you think about it, any business, there's certain things that you can delegate and outsource, such as customer support, setting up campaigns, delivering said product, even advertising to a certain extent. But if you own a product or are delivering a service, you have to be able to sell it. All right, nobody knows your product like you, and therefore selling is something which you can't really outsource. You can automate it via webinars, websites, and all this sort of stuff, online sales systems, but it should still be you doing the selling, right? Because nobody knows your product the same way as you do. And so, when I first started, I had no experience, I had no real internet skills or marketing background, but I just started selling things. I realized that the first skill I have to really develop and master is how to sell. And so, I just went on this crusade to become a lethal salesman. Picked up Brian Tracy's Psychology of Selling, but I also deeply started looking into Jordan Belfort with The Wolf of Wall Street. Many of you would have watched that. And what I used for a very, very long time was the straight line persuasion technique, right? And where Jordan says every sale is a straight line. So it goes from A to B. A is where you begin with the customer, and then B is where you complete the purchase. And it's a straight line, and basically anything that takes you away from that line, those are just obstacles, and all you got to do is remove those obstacles in order to reach point B. Obviously Jordan done it in a very unethical way, but the fact remains is that was a very lethal sales formula. Typically when you're selling, the objections are always the same, all right, normally. So you get, the typical ones: lack of money, lack of trust, lack of understanding. And that's why I say it's so important that you should know your product and you should be the one selling it. Because if it's a lack of trust, for example, then if you're there building that rapport, talking with confidence and real certainty about your product or service, then that's gonna relay into your prospect, right? The same thing with a lack of understanding. A lot of the times, the consumer, they just don't really understand what it is the product will actually give them from a value base, and who better to explain that than you, right? And then one of the biggest ones is people fret over the prospects that they have a lack of money, a lack of capital. A lack of money is not a real objection, all right? I mean, in some cases it is, but it's not usually a lack of money. It's usually a lack of value, all right? And by that, I mean, if you're able to communicate and demonstrate the value that a product brings, then money or price is never an option. For example, universities, when we go to university, nobody ever questions the university fee. Loans are taken out, people get resourceful, money's borrowed, whatever, it's paid off because they understand the value of that degree's providing them. In reality, there's very little value because, as we all know, the university system on the whole is pretty much a sham, but my point is that the perceived value is that degree is going to bring so much to that person that price is never even questioned, all right? And so that's a really important thing to remember. But yeah, I just wanted to shoot a quick video to make sure that you understand the importance of being able to sell, and if you need any tips or help with that, reach out to me. I can recommend a lot of good books and things, but really the way to do it is to understand the psychology behind selling, and then just getting out there and doing it and practicing. You know, there are formulas, like I explained, that straight line formula. There's many others. Just pick one, follow it, and then bring your own unique twist to things. All right, so I hope you found that useful, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.